Good morning, Flagler County. This is Danielle Anderson, your host of Lifeline, the radio show connecting you to positivity in our community. And we brought positivity to the house this morning. Good morning, Pam. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great.
You're always great. And we brought somebody else special in the show who's joining us remotely. Good morning, Brock.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
We're great. Thanks for joining us. I know you guys have a very busy day, and so I really do appreciate you coming in to talk about like all the amazing things that you're doing with your organization. So, Pam, if you want to kickstart it, tell people who you are.
So, I'm Pam Bertolo. I am the executive director of both Flagler Oars and Discover Recover. One's in Flagler County and one's in St. Johns County. And today, what we wanted to do was tell you a little bit about some of the amazing accomplishments of our staff. We want to start with that. And then we're going to move into a few other things, including this year's fundraiser.
I love it. That's what we're all about here, is getting the word out about good things going on.
Right.
So, Pam, can you tell people what is Flagler Oars? Because some people really are new to the community and haven't heard about it.
Flagler Oars is Flagler Open Arms Recovery Services. And what we do is three main things. We have peers who actually work with people and families with substance use disorder. We have an entire outreach program, and Brock may give you some details on that, but it's pretty amazing. And then we also do advocacy. And finally, we do public education. I'm always looking for places to come talk about Narcan and come talk about our work, because I think that in order for people to truly recover, they need to be in a recovery-friendly community. And slowly but surely, we're getting there.
Flagler has really changed since you've been out there working with people.
That is true. That is true. It's amazing.
So how did Flagler Oars get started? So
there were 3 or 4 people who were very community-minded. I was not there. And so Michael Feldbauer, Kim Carney, a couple other people got a little bitty grant to put together I don't know what to call it, a summit where people could come and talk about what they wanted from a recovery community organization. We were the 12th recovery community organization in the state. Now there's 30.
Wow.
Yeah. And so another person who was very responsible, because she put together the whole program for the summit, it was Jenny LaRue. And Jenny put together programs for 3 or 4 summits. So I happened to be in the audience, and I said, oh, this is something I could buy into. So I wound up by default as the first president of the board, and we had no money. We were totally volunteers, and then the state decided to give us enough money that we could hire one person, and the rest is history.
So it's kind of like they give you a little line, let's see how you do, and then it just
boom, yeah.
But it's been amazing, like how quickly you guys have been able to really get the community on board with what you're doing.
Well, we have about 40 hours a day of outreach out there. So our people are out in the community in force. We call them events, but basically they're standing behind a table in front of a business. And we're always interested, if you want to have that in front of your business, we still have space.
So it would be something like maybe a business is on a lunch break and they're doing a team building exercise and you guys come in and talk about it?
No. So it's a business that gets walk-ins.
Okay.
So we're out front and we talk to people on the sidewalks.
Oh, so it's not training the employees. It's like talking.
It's like talking to the public.
That's awesome.
Yes.
But to that point there, we also do train employees, too. So there's a lot of organizations that we work with that have us come in, let's say, maybe on their lunch break, maybe after hours, where they have all their staff present, and we train them on how to use Narcan. What is Narcan? Why is it important that it's out in our community everywhere? So yes and no, to answer your question there, and I just kind of jumped in. So
please,
no, thanks, Brock.
Yeah, because I mean, because somebody listening may have the same question I have. Oh, would it be something that would be great for our employees to learn how to do? But you're thinking, hey, we want to educate the community, just the general public, but it serves both purposes.
So my favorite is to go into churches and businesses that never thought about substance use disorder and do an entire training on Narcan, dispel all the myths. And people love it, and we love doing it.
I remember the first time I saw you was at the Bold Ladies event, and I think it was at the Brass Tap. And I had never, these are all like affluent women who, live a certain kind of lifestyle. And you told it, and like, I don't think you had enough to give everybody some, because everybody was like, I want to have some Narcan in my home.
So the first time I did it with the Bold Ladies, and I am now a Bold Lady myself. First time I did it, when I went to hand out Narcan, everybody was, no, I don't need that. I don't want that. So it's awesome to see the difference, because people understand it's not for them. It's to put in your car. It's to put in your home. It's to make sure that if you run into somebody who's splayed out on the floor of the restroom in Buc-ee's, you just give them Narcan. It doesn't matter if they had a heart attack. It doesn't matter if they had a stroke. It doesn't matter what it was. You just immediately give them Narcan while you're calling 911, because you can't hurt anyone with Narcan.
Well, the most interesting thing that I heard you say, and I'd never considered it, was the senior population taking too much medication because they'd forgotten they'd already taken their medication for the day. And I was like, who would think of something like that?
Right. I think that's an important point, too. As a matter of fact, one of the demographics that's growing rapidly as far as overdoses are concerned are people over 65.
And then it's important for their loved ones to have Narcan, right?
It is. It's very important. And we give it away. You don't buy it at the pharmacy. You can come get it from us for free. And the other thing about Narcan that I think is really interesting, there was recent research, and that research shows that Narcan is good for at least 30 years after its expiration date.
Oh, my gosh. So you think, it's expired because you had it for a year or two. You hold on to it.
You definitely do.
So we know it's surviving the zombie apocalypse, Narcan.
It will.
Twinkies and Narcan.
Right? That works. So, Brock, how did you kind of get into all of this?
So, I started with Flagler Oars approximately about 2 years ago. And at that stage of Flagler Oars, that's when they were expanding to the St. John's area. So it was really cool what I was able to witness happen here is, I was able to watch this office space that we have in St. John's be built out. We've got private rooms for our participants. And then just the amount of work that we've been able to accomplish since approximately March of last year. That's when we had our grand opening. That doesn't mean that's when we started working, but yeah, it's some really awesome stuff. And Pam was talking a little bit about, what our staff has been able to accomplish as well. So some really cool things, and I'm just going to go based off of last month. So this was June of 2025.
Yeah, stress that, Brock. It's 1 month that he's going to talk about. 1 month only.
Just in the matter of, approximately 30 days, this is what our staff has accomplished. They were able to service 391 individuals, receive some type of recovery service from us. So that's awesome. In addition to that, they were able to distribute 5,496 doses of Narcan to both Flagler County and St. Johns County.
That's incredible.
That's pretty massive. And Narcan for those individuals, I know we've mentioned it a few times here, but it's one of the only ways to reverse an opioid overdose, right? So how we view it is that's 5,496 potentially saved lives. That's right. And what Pam mentioned, it doesn't discriminate, right? It could be our grandmas and our grandpas who forgot that they took their medication. It could be anybody, any age range. It's an interesting world that we live in, and I truly believe the more Narcan that we can get out in our community, the better off that we're going to be.
How did you guys know that St. Johns County was the right place, the right direction to expand?
That's a great question. Yeah, so St. Johns County, when we moved here, didn't have an RCO. So it was one of the few counties in the state that didn't already have a recovery community organization. So it was really convenient for us as well because, our office is in Flagler County and it's not too far away to service St. Johns County as well.
Wow. I mean, and it's St. Johns County is a huge area to service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, between the two offices, both counties, we're in the community of just under about 90 events per month. So last month,
wow.
to give you exact numbers, we either hosted or coordinated or attended a total of 86 events.
In a single month?
Yeah, that's just 1 month. In addition to that, we facilitated over 20 recovery groups, too, in that 1 month alone. So we're able to do some really amazing work. And again, it's really due to our staff. They go above and beyond, and they really do some awesome work.
How many staff members do you have? I mean, is it like in the hundreds or?
No, there's two answers to that question. So, Brock.
And when they opened up years ago, when they finally got money, they were able to hire one staff member. So now we are approximately about 15, and that includes our contractors as well. So we have contractors that go out into our community and they do some of the booth work as well, in addition to our full-time staff. So there's approximately about 15 of us. I
have to give you kudos because I'm going to tell you, I do a lot of events. I don't think I could do 86 events in 1 month. And for you guys to stay organized and be able to manage that's tremendous.
Technology. Thank goodness for technology. I don't know.
But just to have the manpower to show up for those kind of events, I mean, that's a lot of people hours.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And what's really interesting is the way we work with the contractors. So we have an app, doesn't everyone? And the app allows people to sign up for when they want to work. So we don't tell them when to work. So we have it set up where they can sign up for as much or as little as they want to do over the course of a week.
And they stay enthusiastic because they're choosing their schedule.
Exactly.
That is awesome. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to talk about some more stuff that's going on with ORS and Discover Recover St. John's. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much for recommending us to your family and friends. When you need a 30, 60, or 90-minute massage, it's real easy to book your appointment online. MassageByNatalie.org. MassageByNatalie.org.
She's Carla.
And that's Alan.
If you don't know who we are,
now you do.
We're the owners of your local Benjamin Moore paint store.
Next time you're thinking about painting, think about us. Benjamin Moore, corner of Old Kings and Utility Drive.
Palm Coast.
So we are back here with Flagler ORS, and, these people are really, truly providing a lifeline for the community, for people of all ages. So, Pam, what are the kinds of things? I know you said a moment ago Brock had taken a phone call for a peer. What does that mean? What's a peer to Flagler ORS?
It's a participant, a potential participant. So we have 2 peer lines that ring when people are wanting services, when people are in distress. It could be anything. Now, we are not a crisis organization, but so that phone rings frequently, and we might provide information and referral to what they say they want. We might invite them to come in and speak with a peer.
And how do you find peers? Because I know peers, aren't they generally people who have been successful in recovery for themselves?
Yes. So we build peers. So we have people who come to us who have been successful in recovery, and then we put them through strenuous training and help them get certified. We pay for their school and their certification.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you know, what's the rate of people saying, I want to be a peer and being successful and being able to stay in recovery because they've been, do you see a lot of that, or do you see?
Yeah, it's not as high as I would like it to be because people have a romantic vision of peer work until they actually do it. It's hard work. Plus, the school, the training they have to go through is strenuous. It's not phony baloney. It's real stuff. And then they have to take a state test.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's major. And so right now, if anyone who is working directly with a participant is certified.
That's amazing. And that's in Flagler and St. Johns County?
Yes.
So do you switch staff back, but do you share staff between the two counties?
We share. They go back and forth depending on the day.
That's really cool.
Right.
So I know a lot.
And we're save taxpayer monies because we don't have 2 RCOs with 2 administrations.
So it's one serving both counties.
Right.
So is there a need? Do you guys have enough money to support everything you're doing?
No.
What if you had a wish list? What would that look like for you?
I would like to see our budget doubled. It's that simple.
What would you do with that money?
Get more peers.
Yeah.
Provide more training. Peers and education. What would you do, Brock?
No, that's it. I'd go directly with peers. If we had double our funding, that means essentially we could double our staff. And if we double our staff, we can double the amount of people that we can help. So if you think these numbers are impressive, just imagine what double those numbers are, right? So, that's my wish list.
So are you guys kind of centrally located in St. John's, or are you kind of on the south or the north side?
So we're right off US 1, North Winn-Dixie Shopping Plaza, and if you are a local to St. Augustine, we're right across the street from Schooners. You can't miss it.
So is that are you near the 312 bridge?
So we are closer to the St. John's Sheriff's Office, the Health and Human Services building there. Again, right off US 1, north side. It's called the North Winn-Dixie Shopping Plaza.
Okay. So you're over there by the airport?
Correct. Yeah, just south of the airport.
Wow, that is kind of in the middle. So, I mean, could you ever envision little satellite offices where there would be, something closer towards Jacksonville, and then, maybe something closer to the south end as well?
We'd like to have a satellite in the west area.
Yeah.
So
West St.
Is that where their need is great, or just?
Yeah. There's in West St. Augustine, what we find a lot of is a lack of transportation and a lack of available resources. So we would love to throw up a satellite office in West St. Augustine.
Wow. So if anybody from the legislature is listening, they could use a little more money, right?
Exactly.
Couldn't everybody? So is there anything else that you guys would need as far as your organization and keeping it strong? Some organizations struggle with sustainability, succession, when your board kind of trying to transitions out, people to come in. Are you looking for new volunteers?
No, our volunteers, what we use are the volunteers who are getting community service, because our volunteers can't go near the work itself. So the volunteers are housekeepers for us. And we have a couple of really great volunteers. So we're not looking for volunteers. We are always looking for more 1099 contractors.
And what can they do to help? How can they help you guys out?
Well, assuming they can pass the level 2 background and that we think they're right for the job, they're the ones out manning the booths.
Helping with the outreach.
They are street outreach.
That's so important because they're really the face of the people that welcome and get those people to come in and say, I want some help, or can you help me?
Right.
So I know that's amazing. Have you guys done any outreach this year, like big festivals or events?
Every month.
Yeah, so we're kind of a little bit of everywhere. Farmers, everything from farmers markets to coffee shops to food pantries to churches. Really, you name it. Now, as far as our really big events, we typically have 1 or 2 really large events per month, and those would look like maybe a big festival, or it could look like something out in Princess Place, or a larger events like that. But a really cool outreach event that we were able to do last year with our outreach vehicle. So we've got this really awesome RV that's branded. It's got Flagler oars all over, our save a life. We were actually able to do disaster relief. So we went from our office in Flagler all the way down to Sarasota when Sarasota got hit really bad with that hurricane last year. And we were able to stop off at almost every single Oxford house, which is a sober living house, and other sober living houses along the way. And we were able to, thousands of pounds of water we dropped off, hygiene products, toiletries, baby items like formula and diapers. I mean, you name it. So it was really cool to be able to do that.
Wait, you left out the part where you guys actually got out and helped people.
Oh, yeah. We were chainsawing down trees. We were helping people clear out their houses. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was really rough, right? So these individuals that we helped, I mean, they lost everything, right? The 11 feet of water in their house, right? So everything from their carpet to their ceiling fan had to be removed. And so we were able to go down there and put in a few days' work and help out where we could. And it was really awesome. But, we were only able to do that through donations from our community. So when you're talking about wish list items, when we're talking about what we would do with extra money, that's just one example of hundreds of just kind of like out of the box things that we like to do when we're able to do so.
That really makes me happy to hear you guys say you did that. That's incredible.
Isn't it?
I just started working with Flagler Volunteer Services on the recovery stuff, and
right.
I had no idea how intense it really is. You see it on the news and you think it's one thing, but then you start to really get into it. And just like you guys, I mean, you're seeing it firsthand like that. You really know the need.
Since Brock just mentioned, the wish list for unrestricted funds, why don't you talk about our fundraiser this year, Brock?
Oh, absolutely. So this year, first, we always do a recovery event in September. That's National Recovery Month. So this year, what we're going to do is we're actually hosting a disc golf tournament. So that's going to be taking place at Moccasin Disc Golf Course. That's in Elkton, so in St. John's, West St. Augustine. And it's going to be on September 20th. And, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some really cool stuff going on, some amazing prizes. We're going to be even doing cash payouts for the top people who win the tournament. And then what's also really cool is that we're sponsoring individuals in recovery. So, if somebody in recovery comes to us and they say, hey, listen, we'd love to play, we're actually covering that cost for them, or one of our sponsors is covering the cost for them. So really cool stuff. We expect, anywhere from 50 to 75 people to be out there. And it's going to be a half-day event starting at around 9, ending at around 1 or 2. We're going to be having free food, free drinks, all sorts of really cool stuff. So we'll be sending out some flyers, posting up all over our social media. But if anybody ever has any questions, they can always reach out to us on our direct lines, too.
So we're also showing the flyer as you speak right here on our Facebook Live page on WNZF. So people can go take a look. How can they find you guys or make a donation if they want to get involved with the event?
Yeah. So there is a sponsorship tier flyer as well. I'm not sure if you've got your hands on that one.
I certainly do.
Perfect. Yeah, all they need to do is scan that QR code, or they can go to our website, flagleroars.org, and click the donate button, and then just choose the amount. So there's 3 different sponsorship tiers, and just choose the appropriate amount, and then we'll take it from there. We'll reach out to the donor. We'll gather all the required information for all of the great advertising that we're doing, and we'll just run with the ball.
We'll do that part too. So I just love how organized you guys are. Especially, it blows my mind. 86 events in 1 month. I'm just hung up on it. But we'll definitely send people over to there. And if everybody wants to take a look, we're going to have Flagler Oars as a part 2 for next week's Lifeline show. So stay tuned. You guys can keep hanging out with us, and make sure you tune in next week for that. So Brock, stay right where you are. And we want to thank Flagler News Weekly, WNZF News Radio, the Vigilante Philanthropists, Massage by Natalie and Company, and also our local Benjamin Moore Paint Store for sponsoring our show. And we will catch you guys in next week. Bye-bye.